Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Mandeep Kaur from Sacred Sikh. Since we launched the Sarbloh back at Vaisakhi time, I've had quite a few of you asking what's the best way to clean your Sarbloh. So today in this video I'm going to show you a couple of different methods that I hope will be useful for you. What you'll need today is some warm water in a bucket. What we're going to use is citric acid as one of the methods. So this is 30 ml of the granules mixed into 500 ml of hot water and then left to cool at room temperature, and then you can pop it in a spray bottle and use it as a cleaning solution. Another method we're going to try is using sand, and this particular sand is children's sand that you can use for play pits and things like that, sand pits. Reason being, it's much safer and it doesn't have harsh pieces in there as well. So we're going to give that one a go as well. You'll need a couple of sponges, scourer pads. These ones are quite safe, so anything like the metal scourer might scratch your utensils, so be really careful with those. However, these are still good enough to get the rust off and keep it quite safe as well. And obviously something to wash it in, clean it in, and something to dry it with afterwards as well. So what we're going to do first is actually just dampen our utensil. As you can see, I'm using a very rusty tawa here. So we'll just dampen it first. I'm only going to do half of it with the citric acid just to show you the difference. So make sure you get it nice and wet. Anything that can come off with just natural water is even better. And as you can see, if you use your scourer, you'll get a little bit more off. It's not doing what it's meant to though, is it? It's not taking all the rust off, so we do need something extra. Okay, so this is where I'll put some citric acid in. So I'll just spray it straight on, good few squirts, and I can already see that the water's turning a rusty colour because the rust is coming off. And then we can just dampen our pad again and start to give it a really good scrub. Yeah, and it's actually, you can actually see the proper colour coming through. So you can see the actual Sarbloh colour underneath coming through, that lovely silver Sarbloh. Yep, so that's taking the rust off really nicely, and this sponge isn't really causing it any kind of scratching either, so it's quite delicate on it, which is good. Keep popping water on to wash it off like you would normally with anything. And we'll just keep going to get it nice and clean. So let's give the sand a go. So what we'll need to do first is make it wet again, just so we've got as much as we can get off with the water, the same as we did with the citric acid. Just get that sponge and wipe all the excess bits off the top. Yep. What you'll need to do is just get some sand in your hand there, handful or however much you need to start with. Just rub it straight in, and it'll get wet anyway because you've got some water on there. If you need a bit more water, pop some on just to kind of give it that softer feel. And the grains will just start working away and start getting the rust off, and it actually feels so nice. It's just such a natural way of removing the rust, and that texture is just so lovely. You can just rub it straight in, and I can see, because the sand in my hand's going rusty colour, so I can see it coming off and it's dripping into the bowl as well. It takes a bit longer, so obviously just spraying it quickly with citric acid is going to be easier. So this method does take a little bit longer, I think, but it's definitely satisfying. So that is slowly coming off. And I think what you can even do is start using your scourer if you need to as well, and that'll really get the sand working. Oh, it's a heavy tawa, this. Yep, so work away at it. I'll pop some more on as well. And don't forget, this was really rusty to start with, so it's quite a bit of a job, this one. So that's got most of the rust off. Definitely takes a bit longer with the sand, but both methods seem to work really well. And you might want to go at it a bit longer with the sand to get all the rust off, but the citric acid does seem to have taken it off a lot quicker. So we're going to stop giving it a clean now, and I'm going to dry it with just a normal tea towel. Be prepared to get a little bit of rust on it. If you were inside using the sink, you'd probably give it a really good rinse and a good wash first before you get your tea towel on. But the key to having rust-free Sarbloh is to keep it dry. It needs to be really dry. The minute you leave any kind of water on it, it will start to rust, or any kind of moisture. So even when you're storing it, it needs to be in an area that doesn't have damp and moisture. So do make sure that you do that. So give it a really good dry with your tea towel, and I would then go over it again with kitchen roll or this kind of blue roll, just to make sure that everything's absorbed. Okay, so just give it a really good dry. If you're not going to be using it regularly, it's best to put some oil on it afterwards. So you could either put ghee on it, which is like ghee, or you can use oil, and it doesn't really matter what oil you use, mustard oil, coconut oil, olive oil, and that just kind of seals it and protects it from the moisture getting in as well. Just makes it a bit shiny as well. So here I've just added a little bit of mustard oil to my fingertips, and I've just rubbed it on the tawa, on the back and on the front, just to keep it nice and protected if you're not using it for a few days. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you. It'd be really interesting to know how you clean your Sarbloh, so feel free to leave some comments in the sections below. Share your ideas, share your feedback as well, and thank you so much for listening. Vai Gujika Khalsa, Vai Gujiki Fateh.